back to Basement Video Podcast with your host, John, co-host, Atzo. Yep. And producer, sexy man over there, Andrew. Say he's sexy.
He's pretty sexy.
How
Thanks, Alex.
1 out of 10. What do
How
you give him?
sexy? If I were to rate him,
Let's not do that.
How many do you give him?
I don't think I have. What the fuck was that?
That's Andrew's laugh.
I thought a xenomorph was about to fucking burst out of your chest. I give him like, I don't know, like 4 out of 10.
Jesus.
Wow.
He can fit in your whole ass.
I
That's
don't.
what you give him?
I'm not attracted to males, so it's like that.
He has long hair.
So
Close enough.
Pretty close. From behind you wouldn't even notice.
That's true.
way too skinny. I like meat on my bones.
Yeah, you got meat on your bones.
I know.
Alex, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Pulp Fiction, the most iconic movie, arguably, of all time.
Arguably. At the time, at least.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's still everywhere. A lot of shows still references it. It's still in
Space Jam referenced it.
A lot of things to reference.
It's in T-shirts. It's in wallpaper. It's like
It's in wallpaper. Did you it's in T-shirts. It's in wallpaper. This shit's everywhere.
it's fucking
It's in
everywhere.
briefcases.
You hear quotes of it everywhere. People are making references. Okay,
You just went to 8 different countries with your voice.
yeah. It's like this movie's like one of those movies that's never gonna die. Pretty much.
I never seen it.
I know.
Till like not even 12 hours.
I've only
ago.
ever seen it. I saw it once, and I didn't honestly fully understand it. I mean, like the movie's like kind of like in chapters, and it's like broken apart at the time. Like it's not like straightforward. It's like this happened first, and then this happened, and then this happened in between those two,
And then it links at the end.
and it links in the end. Yeah.
That's
You never see the timeline after John Travolta dies, though.
Yeah. So like when I first saw this
well, because
movie,
his timeline ends.
I know, but you never see Samuel Jackson do anything after. I'm not
Well,
complaining. I'm just saying.
Because he gave it up.
oh, did he?
That's why John.
No, I
Travolta-
get that. Yeah, I'm saying, but you
Oh,
never see
because
anyone
of-
dealing with that, I guess. So the latest part of the whole timeline is Bruce Willis and what's his name?
Marcellus Wallace.
Marcellus Wallace dealing with that thing, and that's the
And the
latest,
gimp.
most recent part of the movie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it
I
be in the
guess.
timeline technically?
Well,
Because that's the only time you see John Travolta dead.
right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Because John Travolta would be dead. Well, Butch gets away after you see him.
No,
go
I know.
Back.
So that's literally the last thing you see.
Yeah, so you see Butch. Everybody has resolved though.
Yeah. No, I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying that I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay, so it starts off with the two people robbing the
No,
diner.
literally just the John Travolta part. I'm trying to figure out.
What about John Travolta?
If that's not the end of the movie, but that's the furthest in the timeline we go.
Isn't the end where literally end like?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the part where John Travolta dies, because John Travolta is in the end. That where he dies, and with Butch and with Marcellus Wallace, that whole scene thing.
Oh, yeah,
is
wait.
the furthest we go
Yeah.
with the timeline of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Well, yeah, just after that.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
When I first saw this movie, like that scene where he is like, I shoved this pocket up my ass.
Yeah, let's make Christopher Walken.
I thought that was like
Your father died of dysentery, and then I put it in my ass for 2 more years.
in my ass.
Yeah.
Ass.
When I saw the first movie, when I saw the movie first time, I was like, why did they just add this scene? I thought it had like nothing to do with anything else.
Oh, because you didn't know the kid was Bruce Willis?
Yeah, I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, I saw it again like last night, and I was like, oh my god, that's the fucking kid. I was like, oh, it makes sense now. That's why he flipped out and fucking threw a TV about to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he just wants his dad's ass watch. His grandpa's ass watch.
Would you guys ever be like, oh, I need to hold on to it? Like after hearing that story, would you feel like your great
I'd probably put it in a box and be like, ass watch over there.
Yeah.
Would you ever hand it
Got
out
my
to
ass watch.
your son?
Hey, this was in your grandpa's ass, your great grandpa's ass. I didn't put it on mine, so, but here you go.
Feel free to put in yours.
Yeah.
That's like, if I was that kid, I'd be like, cool, but then I'd probably lose it. Because it was just like a little watch. Like, where do you?
Yeah,
It
but
was
it's
just
all
without
he
the
had.
band.
Yeah, without the band. Yeah.
It's all he had to remember his dad by, though.
Fair
It was
enough.
an ass watch.
Just
An ass watch.
Yeah, my dad
I
was an ass man.
I think. Do you think he had to tell that part of the story?
No.
Do you think that's what made him like?
Well, it's funny because technically the watch killed his dad
Yeah, because
because he died of dysentery.
Yeah,
And then after it kills him, he puts it up his ass.
yeah.
And then delivers it to the kid, risking dying of dysentery himself.
For 5 years.
And
Can you
then,
imagine?
and then
like,
two more in Christopher.
can you imagine
Walken.
every time you had to take a dump, you had to take off the watch crap and then shove the watch right back up your ass again?
Not the worst, right?
Ugh, poor watch.
Yeah, the watch feels pain, not the guy's asshole.
I'm just saying, it's just like, what a fucking weird story to tell a kid about how your father just passed away and he wanted you to have his shit watch.
Well, he needed to give it more meaning, you know?
It's the reason why he was freaking out in this following scene.
Yeah.
But Andrew, this is your favorite movie of all time, huh?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about it? Do you guys know any like backstory of this movie?
Yeah.
A little bit. Like what?
You tell me.
What do you
In the
wanna know?
briefcase?
No, I mean in general, like the production.
Oh,
Like,
it was gonna cost apparently $5 million until they got Bruce Willis on board. Then it was $8 million.
can you imagine you have to add 3 more million because of one person?
Mhm.
There was already a lot of. Well, was there a lot of big names?
Yeah, Uma
Yeah.
Thurman denied being in or didn't want to be in the movie, and then Quentin Tarantino called her and read her script on the phone, and then she decided to be in it.
Yeah. And then he's like, hey, I'm doing basically Fox Force 5, which was Kill Bill.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, she was the main character in that.
you know the tombstone that you see in Winter Soldier with that Nick Fury's standing in front of.
No.
It says like it's the same thing that he says in the movie.
Oh, really?
It's like it says what do they call that in the Bible?
The
Passage.
It says
Yeah.
what passages and it says like what do they call him, the what, not the what man?
the shepherd.
Something like that. It's pretty much just referencing Pulp Fiction on the tombstone
That's
in
cool.
Winter Soldier.
That's really cool. Oh, like when he died and they went to his grave. Yeah.
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 It was referencing Ezekiel 25 whatever.
25:17.
Yeah, that one.
That's it. Yeah, dope movie.
That's
My favorite thing about Tarantino movies is he uses like the dialogue to tell a lot of the story, and it lets you paint your own picture
Mhm.
rather than just like laying it out for you in visuals. And I think that's very interesting and cool.
See, I know this is a good movie. I'm not saying it's not a good movie, but movies like these do tend to like make me very drowsy. Like I was
You
watching.
gotta pay attention too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You really have to pay attention, and it's like, for a guy like me, that is asking a lot. But I do understand like why people like this movie.
Yeah, I
It's-
loved it.
It's definitely like in order to understand the whole movie all the way through, you definitely have to pay attention because there's at least 4 stories, probably more,
Mhm.
all together, and then they combine in the end,
Mm-hmm.
which not a lot of movies are like that, you know.
I think the point that I started getting sleepy was the diner scene, and I got okay really quick. That
They're
diner,
dancing?
I wish
The
I went
first,
like where it's like a themed diner where it's like the seats are cars.
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to go to that diner. That's a badass diner, by the way.
You were just in Disney World. You could have went to the Alien one.
No, I mean I get that, but I want.
When Buddy
I
Holly-
want to go to like. Do I have to go
Steve
somewhere
Buscemi.
special? Like, why can't we have fancy diners like that here in Windsor?
We do.
You want Buddy Holly to be your server?
Steve
Yeah.
Buscemi's Buddy Holly.
Hey, garçon, garçons on males.
Yeah,
Garçon
boy.
means boy.
So why'd that make you sleepy?
I know because like the way that the way that people that the talking happened in the movie is so good. It's so like authentic. Like it's really good acting. It really just feels like they're just having a conversation, right?
Mhm.
And that because it was so good that's why it was making me kind of like because it's listening to you guys doing your podcast. You guys are just talking.
So you
like
get
friends.
sleepy when we talk?
Yeah,
Well, I guess you did just sleep.
I did
Yeah.
sleep when you guys did your podcast. So yeah, there you go.
I have a theory about this movie.
Mm.
It's a sequel to Grease. And that's just Danny, all grown up.
No.
He talks kind of like him sometimes.
He looks like him oddly enough.
Yeah, oddly enough, he looks just like him.
It's not the same guy or anything.
Yeah, he changed his name because Sandy broke his heart. He had to go into the Hitman game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
He did not shape up, so he had to move.
He bought a Monte Carlo and
Yeah.
went to Amsterdam.
I will say I did love the scene in the diner when they were all talking, and then she said that, I love this. He's like, what? That we can just sit here and just shut the fuck up for a moment.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, why is it that when people are on dates or just hanging out, they feel like they're obligated to talk? It's like, why can't, if it's, and I was like, I fucking thank you. Like, you know, it's like,
You're the king of not doing that.
What?
He'll be quiet. What would you guys do if, like, you had to choose between this or this? And, like, how would you do it?
Well, now after watching this movie, I won't feel guilty anymore, and I'll just be like, I'm with my friends, I'm with my boys. Like, we can just sit down and shut the fuck up and enjoy the quiet, you know?
Yeah, let's do that right now.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. We can't do that.
Right now is not the time for that. I'm sure the viewers would love it.
So, what point did you fall asleep?
I think I told you it was like the part where
The boxer killed the guy?
yeah. So that scene.
Butch?
Oh, by the way, that scene was like a really funny where it's just like he goes like, okay, you're gonna go down on the third, and he's gonna take up the dead dive, and he's heading over to the boxing match already. Opens the door, and it's just like, my man, and he says his full name, and then where he like lives, and then
Yeah.
where he's going, and what his title is in the match or whatever. Come in, like, you know, just like he like fully details exactly this person that he's like introduced or shaking his hand to. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? And it started about his blood type and his birthday and stuff like that.
I'm going to ask Andrew first because he's seen the full movie. And I'll ask you later because you can only answer half, I guess. Favorite story arc, or favorite... Well, the scenes are all broken up into, like, literally titled scenes. So what's your favorite one?
I don't remember the exact titles.
You don't know the
of
title,
them,
but you can explain because I don't either.
I like Jules's story off the hop. How he has like the whole revelation, decides
Yeah,
to give
yeah.
up the life of crime. Of
Because the guy that just can't shoot too good didn't shoot him.
Fires
Yeah.
6 shots and all 6 of them.
Yeah, like that is weird, but like, like
they're just like, what?
you can clearly tell these are guys that just got into whatever business they're dealing with
Yeah.
Marcellus.
I like
And he's just not good with guns.
I
I
think
like the Big Kahuna Burger dialogue too.
Yeah, he's like, what kind of burger? He's like, Big Kahuna. It says it's in the shot.
yeah.
I've never had a Big Kahuna burger. And my favorite part was when he's done with the burger. What do you got to drink? Spray. He's like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Grabs it, he's just like, it just zooms in on
Yeah.
his face. He just drinks the whole thing for like a solid 15 seconds.
I also love the. What does Marcellus Wallace look like?
Yeah, I
What?
knew where it was going too.
Everybody.
Say what one more fucking time, motherfucker. But then he asks him another question. He says what to like, and then he shoots him because he said,
At
"Say
the
what one
shoulder.
more time, I'll shoot
Yeah.
you."
That whole entire scene is fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah,
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I like when they go back to it. There's a guy in the bathroom.
So do you guys know what's supposed to be in the briefcase?
It's supposed
Didn't
to
he
be
say like a couple years ago what's supposed to be in it? That's not what you're
Oh.
getting at.
So, in the original screenplay, it was written as just like cash and diamonds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then, as they were like recording it, he decided to put the Band-Aid on Marcellus Wallace's neck.
Yeah, I
And-
noticed that.
Basically, the briefcase is supposed to contain his soul, which was sucked out from the back of his neck. And
Is that based off something? Is that like a full
yeah, it's like a Chinese lore
Yeah,
that it's based off of. And
that's
so
dope.
that every time they open it, they're like, whoa. That's
Yeah, but then
amazing.
like the guy, why would that random guy know what his soul looks like? He's like, is that what I think it is? Like in the end scene.
I don't know.
That's such a weird. Like, I love how it's like, okay, he opens it, but what would a soul look like, and why is it trapped in a briefcase?
And it's always just lights up.
yeah.
So like what the actual briefcase is just a light bulb.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
Did you notice that like the lock, the
666?
It's 666.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
open it.
And that goes with the theory of it being his soul, because he was
Yeah.
supposed to have sold it to the devil for like that's how he got his fortune or whatever.
Yeah.
And now he's like getting it back from the devil.
And do you think the scene with him and Butch with the racist mans were the devil trying to fuck him then?
And then
Trying to like punish him for wanting his soul back
Oh, maybe. Like,
I think it's
in
in the pawn
Pawn
shop with the.
the gimp.
Is that a thing we can say when it's
Gimp?
talking about that type of
Gimp?
gimp?
Again, that's just what.
I know that's what it is, but like there's people use that for other things, so I don't know.
Well, that's what they call it.
A gimp suit guy.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's just like a physical manifestation of just karma coming to bite you in the ass. Like, it's just.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because Andrew's saying the devil, he stole soul of the devil. The briefcase has a soul. He got it back. And I was thinking if that's the whole thing, maybe that's the devil getting.
He did get it back, right?
That's what's in the briefcase. They're trying to get back to him.
Okay, but did they actually give it to him in the end or no?
Yeah.
They didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
They still
Jewel-
have it.
Jules gives it to him. Or no, Vincent gives it to him.
When?
And because you see him when Butch.
At the boxing match at the end or beginning
No.
or whatever?
But when Butch goes and sees Marcellus for the first time, and gets the money. Remember that?
Oh, no.
Well, there's-
When they're talking about him going down?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets the money because he pays him off to lose the fight, right?
Mhm.
So then Butch bets against himself to win, right?
Mhm.
So then Marcellus loses the bet, and then Butch gets all the money. But in the scene where he's talking with Marcellus Wallace, Vincent's there, and he's wearing the clothes from Jimmy's.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
remember.
where he's returning the briefcase.
So Butch's story is the latest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it has to be, because
No, yeah.
then you see, like after the fight, you see Vincent and Mia talking to each other again.
Yeah,
And
like-
she's
like
like,
about
"Oh, I
what
never
happened."
thanked you for dinner
Yeah.
and stuff." And then he's like, "It's no big deal," or whatever.
Mhm.
And then the next day, he's at Butch's taking a shit.
Yeah.
And he comes out of the bathroom and gets shot by his own gun.
Because of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
So fucking. People said that that's an amazing scene. Like, they love that scene.
It is pretty good.
It is.
To me, it's just like.
Which scene are you talking about?
Where he,
We get
where he
shot?
just gets out of the. He just finished taking his shit. and
It's funny because every time he's taking a shit in this whole movie, he's reading that book, and then he dies with that book in his hand.
Well, it goes back to Jules's divine intervention, right?
Yeah,
'Cause,
Jules
like,
got out, and
and
John
then-
Travolta's character Vincent didn't, and now
And
he's dead.
now
Literally
he's
the
dead.
day or two after Jules decided to get out of the business,
shot with his own gun.
and Jules would have been there too. Maybe
Right.
not taking a shit with Vincent, but he would have been in the house when Butch came in.
Exactly, because they were partners.
But then it might have been. Then you can go in the case if Jules was there, he wouldn't have died because Bruce wouldn't have had a chance, or Butch wouldn't have had a chance to get the gun because someone would have been outside the bathroom and seen him walk in.
Yeah, more than likely.
So fuck Samuel
So-
L. Jackson. Fuck Jules. He
It's
ruined. He
Jules.
killed Vincent.
Jules.
Yeah, divine intervention. Hey Jules, I want a sequel where he's just fucking crying. Just
Well-
Samuel Jackson cry.
It's Marvin's fault. He
I wa-
did tell him about the gunman in the bathroom.
I wonder if the way that Bruce Willis was looking at that Uzi that he used to kill him with, is that like supposed to be like a? Did Die Hard come out when this movie went?
All of them were already out.
Yeah, that's because
That was
Die-
Die Hard. Yeah, because he worked with Samuel L. Jackson before this in Die Hard 3. And
Oh,
this came out in what, 95, 94? I think it's 95.
Yeah, I think 95.
Same year as Power Rangers.
yeah. So I'm thinking like, did he look at the Uzi because that was the gun that he used in Die Hard? So it's like a reference that he's using the same
Could
gun.
have been.
Uzi with a silencer.
Okay, I want to know if you noticed this. Okay, when Butch is talking to Marcellus Wallace, I think this is before we see Marcellus. The camera's just on Butch in the bar, I think it is, or wherever he works out of. And so it's focused on him for like probably 2 minutes. The camera moves slightly this way, like very, very, like you can just see it, and then it goes right back. I think it's on purpose.
Probably not.
It threw me off. It didn't throw me off, but I was like, was he trying to do something fucking artsy, or did he just not care after when they were editing
What
it?
scene?
Okay, so I think it might be the first time you see Bruce Willis, or the first time you see him talking to Marcellus Wallace in the bar,
Oh,
and then it's like focused just on Bruce Willis, and the camera like, literally like this, moves that way, and then moves back the other way to center him again, because he was off center when they moved it that way, and then they centered him again.
Was there anybody behind him?
No one at all. It was literally just the bar behind him, no one behind him, and just Bruce Willis. They moved it to, I think, fixed center, and then they fucked center up a bit more, and then moved it back to where it was.
Was it? Are you sure it wasn't showing John Travolta standing at the bar?
No, this was because he's already seen him, and
Oh.
no one was behind him anymore.
Not sure.
Because it was after John
Probably
Travolta
just a
talked to him.
mistake.
I liked it.
Maybe it wasn't a mistake.
I liked it a lot. Sorry. I like imperfections.
I think my favorite scene was when they called the wolf, and it's just like
Oh, fucking Harvey
yeah.
Keitel.
Mhm.
That part was written for him.
He was perfect for it. Just seems like he's it's
Like Samuel Jackson said it best when then they're at the diner at the end. He's like, he didn't even get fucking mad at you when you were fucking with him. Like, yeah, I thought he was gonna like shoot at him or something, try to fuck with him because he's like, please would be nice. Like, fuck
Yeah.
you, Danny.
yeah. That's not a situation. That's not a situation.
He's helping you clean up Marvin's fucking brain and shit, and helping you.
Oh fuck! I just shot Marvin in the face.
And the wolf's like, yes, I talk fast, I talk quick, I get things done.
Yeah.
So
Your
you
place is
listen to
like
me.
Pretty please with sugar on top. Clean the fucking dead body out of your car.
Yeah.
Your place is 30 minutes away. I'll be there in 10. And it's just
Yeah, that was funny.
He's there in 9 minutes and 37 seconds.
but I love how he Quentin Tarantino like wrote himself in his own movie. Does he always do that or?
Yeah.
He does that sometimes. Not in all movies, does
Almost every movie.
he? Was he in Reservoir Dogs? I passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I've
was.
only watched it once and I fell
He's
asleep.
Mr. Brown.
That's what I thought. He's one of the main guys.
Yeah.
What about Kill Bill? Is he in the movie?
I think he has a cameo,
Isn't
but
he
I don't
the?
remember.
No, I'm thinking of Little Nicky. He's the priest on the
He's
street.
the priest, yeah. In Django, he gets blown up by a bomb.
Yeah.
Django?
Yeah.
Django's the Quentin Tarantino movie.
Well, I know that, but I'm trying to think.
He was one of
He's
the,
like at the end
guys
of the
selling the slaves.
Yeah. He's the one. He has Django in the cage. And Django,
with the other it's like near the end, and it's just like
Yeah.
he's telling
Yeah, and
the
he
slave
blows
that
them up.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I forgot. Well, I mean, like I know that scene, but it's like I don't remember Quentin Tarantino being in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was.
So what were you saying your favorite scene was? Did I cut you off? Or
No,
did
I
you
was
say
just
it?
saying, like, I just like in general, like how I love characters in movies that are very efficient and good at their job, like you know, the wolf being the handyman.
Oh
and
yeah. Sorry,
how he
yeah.
pretty much was like in a situation where you killed someone in your car is covered in blood, you have a dead body now, you're covered in blood. He's just like, all right, take it to this lady, she'll dispose the body, put the body in the trunk, strip down, wash yourself, get new clothes, like here's your money. Yeah.
You guys have both been to county. Get ready.
What did they call them? They look like dweebs or dorks. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
what do they look like to you, Jimmy? They look like dorks. Jimmy, they're wearing your clothes.
No, Samuel L. Jackson's like, they're your clothes, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's all I gotta say about that.
About that scene?
Just in general, like I like this movie, but it's like
Did you get to the Butch and Marcellus Wallace situation?
yeah, where they got like
at the
like,
pawn shop?
what a coincidence! What are the chances that he's driving and then he stops and then
Yeah,
Marcellus is Wallace
he's-
walking with
when he's-
donuts and fucking coffee?
Yeah,
And he's like, what the fuck?
and he just boom hits him.
Yeah. And then he waits around for him to get up.
Well, because he had a broken leg or something.
Knows.
Yeah, but he was limping too. His leg
Oh,
was
yeah,
fucked
I
up.
guess.
And Marcellus
true.
Wallace is still disoriented, so he's just like randomly shoots some fucking girl in the hip.
Oh,
No, it's
she
the
was
shoulder,
fucking.
wasn't
No, she got shit right
her
in the
hips
head.
were fucking thick. And she
That's
was,
what I mean. Like it just barely caught it, but it caught it.
oh my god! And
And then they just imagine like that's the situation. You're running from some guy you owe money. You end up in this racist guy's pawn shop who also likes to rape people while his gimp watches the other person. Like,
R word.
oh yeah, SA. But like that's so fucked. Like I thought that was what was happening because it's like it's either that or they're beating them up or killing them. But it was fucked, and it's not funny. But like when Butch decides to go back to save Marcellus from that, and it's all done. He's holding the gun. He's already shot that security guard guy.
No, it was a katana.
oh yeah,
No, I mean
he
when
was gonna get a chainsaw.
no, when
and then
Marcellus
he's-
Wallace shoots him.
Oh.
He shot him in like the hip or like stomach or something, so he wouldn't die of the leg. And Butch is like, "You doing all right?" He's like, "I'm definitely the farthest from all right now."
Yeah.
I don't know why that part just made me laugh because it's so obvious that he's not okay. You hit him with a car. You ran into this place. He's literally getting SA'd in this guy's pawn shop basement.
That's the thing that was kind of confusing to me was that like I get it, like he saves him and he's like kind of like okay, like we're even. Don't tell anyone what you just saw, like what happened here. But at the same time, it's like he wouldn't be in this situation if he didn't run his ass over and then like.
Well, he started chasing him.
Yeah.
It's just
They both were at not fault, but like they both had just
basically he's just like,
Just-
enough shit's happened. You
Yeah,
saved my life.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
good.
over it. You just gotta leave so no one knows that like I let you off.
Yeah.
Because then they're gonna be like, "Why'd you let him off, Marcellus?"
Yeah,
Why
like
you so
what's he
soft?
gonna tell his gang members now? It's like, hey, don't search for this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
why?
after they heard of what happened to Tony Rocky Horror
Yeah. Remember he pushed him off a balcony?
Yeah.
for massaging his wife's feet.
Fucking Quentin Tarantino. There would be a fucking 10-minute conversation about how sexual massaging a foot is.
Well,
did
you know
notice
that's his
the dance
fetish.
scene?
That's
Oh,
his,
yeah, I did.
They did a lot of close-ups.
There's
of
something at the
Neil
beginning. I don't
Wallace's
remember
feet.
what it was.
She's walking in her house and it's all it's a zoom up of just her feet.
Just her feet, yeah.
So, Quentin Tarantino just being all himself.
Yeah.
Fuck guy.
Melody really loved this movie.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
was Melody?
Her favorite character was Uma Thurman because she likes that she snorts coke or heroin.
I felt so uncomfortable watching this. I felt so uncomfortable watching that scene where he was shooting heroin in himself.
I liked it because it didn't show it. It just zoomed in on that part. My thing is watching people do it. Can't do that. It was kind of surprising. I was like, oh, John Travolta's doing heroin, I guess. He's one of those hitmen, eh?
Yeah.
He's just driving.
Yeah. So, how'd you feel about when Mia snorts the heroin? How'd that make you
Well,
feel?
she was fucking snorting coke all night, so I was like, oh, whatever.
There's some no,
Yeah, but
the needles.
heroin.
Needles. Is
Did
a
she
win.
know it was heroin?
No,
That's what I didn't think, right?
because like he said, like the whole movie's like written smart, right?
Yeah.
Because like usually you give heroin and balloons, but then the
he
guy's
didn't have
like,
any. It
oh,
got baggy. Yeah,
yeah, I got baggies.
That
So
makes sense.
she gets the baggie and she's like, oh, this is probably coke,
Mhm.
and then
Does a fat bump.
yeah, and then she's like, oh, I'm dead.
I
And
love
then-
how fucking they go to what's the drug dealer's name?
I forget.
Do you remember his wife's name?
His wife's Judy and the other girl's Trudy.
Yeah, so Judy's just like, get the fuck out of here! Like, we just literally gotta give her a drug. Like, get her out of my house!
No, she's not fucking dying here.
Or he's like, yeah, you want to stay? Trudy's single. He's like, is Trudy the one with all the shit in her face? He's like, no, that's my wife.
No, that's Judy. That's my wife.
And he's just like,
And then he gets the needle. He's
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
get me a magic marker. She's like, a what? And then like as they're searching, they're like repeating the lines. It seems like it's actually going on.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're actually in a house and searching for shit.
yeah.
It's fucking. I felt it was like actually like people because people would like keep repeating the same thing because just to remind themselves of what's going on, and it's just that was intense, the whole scene.
Yeah. He's
And
like,
then
my little black book.
Andrew,
Like, I've
we-
never seen a medical book.
We were talking about it last night when we were texting. But the part where he's like, you just stab it right in her thing, and he does it 3 times. He's like, I stab her 3 times with it.
It's such like an intense scene, and then there's just that comic relief.
Yeah.
So I stab her 3 times. No, you stab her once.
And she's just chilling on the couch with the needle hanging out her chest. She's like, say something if you're okay. Something. And then it's just them in their car. She's just like,
As soon as she comes back, that other chick's like, that was trippy.
yeah.
She's like, her whole demeanor changes from like telling the chick to get out to all of a sudden she's into the moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like I thought Butch's scenes were boring until like I saw everything about Butch, and then it was like one of my favorite parts. I think Butch and Marcel's story.
Well, like the backstory of Butch, like the boxing and all that stuff leading up to it, kind of boring.
Yeah,
But then once you find out why he's on the
Yeah,
run
yeah,
and everything, it kind of gets more
what was
interesting.
what was the cab driver? The cab driver was sick.
The
I don't know why I liked her. The way she said Butch, I was like, "Oof, you're hot."
she was into the fact that he killed a man.
And he's like, "I didn't even know I fucking killed a man until you told me."
How often? I wonder how often that happens in boxing, where it's just like they accidentally do kill each other.
I know it's happened before, but I don't know how often.
It's not that often, I would assume.
I wonder if he like the boxers get like charged, or if it's just like
I don't think you would
Can.
get charged. There's probably a contract situation.
I'm pretty sure you can, depending on how it happens.
Like if you're aggressive, but if like you just fucking right hook them, that's
Yeah.
just part of the game.
just full for being too weak.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, it's just like bungee jumping. You probably have to sign a contract before you bungee jump to say if you die, it's no one's fault.
Hmm.
The scene where he goes back to the hotel with his girlfriend and they're like, about to make love. I thought it was really funny that the way she's like, "Would you like to perform oral
Yeah,
sex with
Can you
me?
perform oral sex on me? And then he's like, will you kiss it? And he's like, after, you first.
Like, what is this? It sounds like our grandparents are about to do it or something like that.
Like, I knew what he meant by would you kiss it, but I was like, why are you so... But you're an older man. You won't kiss it?
Want to make this a short podcast?
Yeah, say it right into the mic. That's
Yeah.
sick. That's dope.
No, dude.
Yeah, we're going 4 hours on this one.
Yeah, 4 Doritos.
Like Doritos, but with hours.
Yeah.
Doritos.
I don't know. Samuel Jackson, I think this is one of my favorite movies that he's ever been in, that I've seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Even better than Star Wars?
You gotta watch Jackie Brown.
I was going to plan on watching it tonight.
It's good. I like it a lot.
I watched this on my box set.
Oh,
that
yeah?
I forgot I had.
Did you watch it on the big boy?
No, I watched it on that.
On the
It's
big
Blu-ray.
boy. The other big boy.
Yeah, the other big one.
Yeah. Well,
How many of you watched
What?
Quentin Tarantino movies? You've
Kill
seen
Bill
Django,
1, 2, Django.
this, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Have you seen?
Glorious Bastards?
Yep. Yep, seen that.
Have you seen Hateful Eight?
No.
Have you
That's good.
seen what's the
the-
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No.
That one's the newest one.
I've seen, what's the dog? Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
That's the first one.
Did you see
That's his
Reservoir
first movie?
Dogs?
The Reservoir Dogs. When the pandemic first started, I put it on, and then I just couldn't pay attention, so I turned it off.
You gotta try to get through it. It's really good.
I wasn't bored or anything. I just couldn't pay attention.
Yeah, I know.
So I was just laying on the couch, and I was just like, yeah, all these guys are talking about robbing a bank.
You
Sick.
never see the bank robbery.
Yeah, so I know, like, they're just chilling, hanging out. Oh, this guy's bleeding out now. What are they going to do? And I'm like, I can't do this today.
If you were to rate Quentin Tarantino as a movie director and writer, how high would you get him? Like a 10 out of 10 or?
Like an 8.59.
Yeah.
Definitely like a 9.5, 10.
I'd probably say 8.5 or 9.
I mean, there's some movies that I've seen by him that I'm like...
Like, what's a bad movie he's done?
Have you ever seen... what?
Once upon a time in Hollywood.
It wasn't
It wasn't
terrible,
the best. It had good moments.
but I would say there's this one movie. It's called 7 Rooms or
Yeah.
something like that. It's a Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
That's
Glorious Bastards.
that's
I
a
like that
good movie.
That's a good movie.
Nicole, you're not on this one.
do you not like it just because it's like not accurate? Like it,
Yeah. That's why she doesn't like it.
that's exactly why why she said she didn't like it. She thought this was a great movie until the fact that's like none of this happened. Like
It's a movie. It's not.
That's the point.
It's not a
He's making his
documentary.
own universe.
I loved the movie, and the thing that threw me
What
off
movie
from
are you talking about right now?
Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
The one that threw me off was like when they do end up just killing Hitler, and
The
they just
theater?
and they're just shooting up the theater, and then she's laughing and like she's laughing because she like bared the doors and it's like everything's burning down, and I was like, this is like really cheesy now. Not cheesy, but it's like it's really like. It's like it zooms up on the guy constantly shooting Hitler in the face.
That's what Tarantino tries to do. He like takes
Yeah.
homage from like old movies that he watched when he was a kid. So like old westerns, old war movies, all old movies.
Mm.
That's what like all these movies are.
Like, yeah.
It's his own twist on the way they used to film westerns and war movies, pretty much, or blaxploitation movies, which he likes. Which is why he did Jackie Brown and Django, which is a mix of blaxploitation and western in a way.
Yeah. Django, such a different kind of movie though, compared to all of his other ones.
Yeah,
It still has that like.
It's obviously it has this flair to it.
Yeah.
But it's just like obvious. Like all of his movies are supposed to be connected, right? They're all in one universe.
hmm
That's supposed to be like canon. Like that's actually true.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Huh.
And so like people from Django are related to people in like Pulp Fiction, for example.
yeah.
And
Like Samuel Jackson's character in Django is related to Jules in Pulp Fiction.
yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How?
Yeah.
Who says this?
Quentin Tarantino.
Oh.
Tarantino, yeah. And that's why like every film they smoke red apple cigarettes because it's not like a real thing. It's a thing he made up. And it's
Red
like-
Apple cigarettes.
Yeah. It's like common to his films, but it's not a real thing,
I
right?
think it's funny because when's Reservoir Dogs going? 93?
I think so. Yeah.
So like him and Kevin Smith coming up at the same time, literally doing the same basic idea for their movies, like where it's just mostly dialogue. But Kevin Smith did it as like shitheads like us at like a fucking corner store, and he's doing like Hitman, doing the same basic idea though. And obviously Quentin Tarantino went bigger because Kevin Smith just stuck with like shitheads talking at like their work. It was just funny. It's like two completely very similar ideas going completely different ways.
Right. Around the same time.
And they both came from rental stores as kids, just watching movies at the rental stores they worked at, becoming like film snobs, I guess, in a way, for the films that they liked.
It's cool though, cause like they both kind of have the same story. They're both like self-funded for
That's
the
what I
first
mean.
movie.
And like they both
everything.
were working at video rental stores when their first movie was made.
Yeah. That's sick.
Did you ever hear Quentin Tarantino talking about though, like, cause he
About Reservoir Dogs?
no, he was didn't he live in the Village in New York?
Something like that. Yeah.
And like his rental store, he was like the guy. So like he'd be like, me and my friends that worked at the rental store, we'd be walking down the street and people like, yo, Quentin, what's up? Like they'd recognize. He's like, we were like famous in this neighborhood for like recommending like good movies to people at the rental store. Because like him and like Kevin Smith and all the people that worked with them, they'd recommend movies like you wouldn't just see, because it wouldn't be like mainstream movie. They'd be like, here, you watch this fucking, watch the stuff.
That's kind of cool. It's just like the guy.
It'd be
that's-
like you.
Literally.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
why I like them both.
Yeah.
Like I always wanted to recommend my sister and my parents like these movies, and it's just like I tell them like why it's so good. There's only ever been like one movie I ever showed them.
The Joker?
Two, no. Well, yeah, I showed them Joker, and obviously my parents didn't like get it.
I thought they liked it.
No, they didn't.
No.
They hate. They just don't like senseless violence. Like they thought it was like I don't know why they like their movies
They're
have
from-
like violence all in it all the time too. It's
Your
like
parents are from a war-torn country.
yeah,
That's true.
Even I'm like starting to have that same mindset now. I'm looking at things differently because of like how human history is, and it's just now affecting me. Like I don't know. I've been so like shut out from like the outside world. That's like I enjoy like violence because it's just like oh, it's just a movie. It's like oh, it's just a video game. But then it's like violence happens in real life, so that kind of changes the way that I view things too.
So in God of War, you think that stuff happens?
No, of course not. It's not some guy chain blade and like
Yeah.
just swinging. No.
Mom, I can't play Crash Bandicoot anymore. The way he jumps on those fucking things, I just can't.
I hate Crash Bandicoot.
Super Mario Bros.
It's okay, I guess.
The way he jumps on mushrooms heads.
Not for me. Turtles?
I never understood why. Well, I can understand why people like Crash, but to me, it's just like
I never got too hard into it.
your cousins.
I had a PS1
Yeah.
too, and I never really had it.
I was more.
I played
into,
it on Xbox.
I was more of a
original.
Spyro guy. I
Yeah,
like Spyro.
I just played all the Spyros as a kid.
I want to get back to playing PS2 because I was like thinking about like all those like the games like Sly Cooper and like Jack and Daxter and like
I want to play Sly Cooper.
Ratchet and Clank. Those were like the big three that PlayStation had, and they were like it was funny because like there were three games that were completely unrelated to each other, and the companies were unrelated to each other, but the three of them were almost like those three games were almost like had their own like family.
Everyone would also always confuse the titles.
exactly.
Like with the other game. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Ratchet and Clank. Oh, no, you mean Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, because it's always like there's the main character and his sidekick. So there's Jack and Daxter, and then there's Ratchet and Clank. Sly Cooper is different because there's three of them, but Sly Cooper is still dragged into those two characters
Because
because
they're all kind of the same genre of game.
yeah,
Same kind of art style too.
yeah, exactly.
Not Sly Cooper, but the other two. Sly Cooper's like comic.
I miss
looks
those days when like
cel-shaded.
video games had like like very interesting and original
Well, they
IPs.
still put out games like that, just no one talks about them.
Yeah, like everyone would talk
Like,
about.
did you play the ukulele game? The first one wasn't bad, the sequel was weird.
They fucked that game up. They tried to make it like we want to bring Banjo and Kazooie back, but we want to make it fresh and
Just
no one,
do it then.
Yeah, no one like.
Well, you did that on the 360, and Nuts and Bolts wasn't a good game.
All right,
It was
Andrew.
fun to play for like 15 minutes.
What,
but
Nuts and Bolts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever play that one, Alex?
No.
Build some stuff and then call it. a
I
day.
refuse to play games that make you build like. I hate games that have you build. Like I never really liked The Sims. I hate games where you
I
have
love
to like
The
build your own fortress sort of thing.
That's
Well, you
called
built your own vehicles.
Crafting whatever games.
What?
Yeah, that game you built
I-
your own vehicles.
Yeah, I still don't like those either. I don't find that fun. like-
I've literally gone on Alex's stream on Twitch, and the first hour of it is him building a character in a game.
Customized.
That's a character. That's different.
It's literally the exact same thing.
No,
If you're customizing a vehicle, You have to do that in a racing game before you play. That's the same thing as making your character before you play.
Yeah, but like whenever I'm making a character, I don't ever go in the details like, oh, how thick is his cheekbones? Oh, how
That's
high
literally what you were doing.
No, but I don't do that. I use presets because it's faster.
No, remember, like it was Yakuza you were playing. You were making your character like
You can't
really
make a
detailed.
character. You can't.
What
make
were you
it.
playing then? It was like, well, it was one of those games you were just starting.
Probably Elden Ring.
No, I mean like a
Oh.
year ago.
A year ago?
I thought it was one of the Yakuza games you were playing and you were customizing your character. Because I remember going in and I literally was in there for a half hour and you were just customizing. I was like, I gotta go. And you're like, we're just customizing you.
I don't know.
And like all your friends were helping you customize, like pick shit.
I have no idea what game it is, but that's different. Customizing characters is different.
Yeah, way different than customizing.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
What do you rate it out of how many Big Kahuna burgers?
I give it like a 7.
7.
I have never seen this movie till yesterday. And everyone's always told me, oh, it's too hyped up. Blah, blah. Too hyped up. It's good, but like, it's not as good as people say. It was as good. I give it an 8.5. I enjoyed it a lot.
Andrew?
8.5 Big Kahuna burgers with a Sprite on the side.
Because I love the dialogue of this movie, the action, and everything all together, give this movie a 9.5. This
What'd
is
you
my
say?
favorite movie.
I said 7.
7, eh? Lucky number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, chat them later.
All right, guys. Chat you all later. Please subscribe and follow. Tell
And
your friends.
check out
tell
our
your family.
Patreon.
And, subscribe to our Patreon.
Give us all your money.
And we'll see you next
All of
week.
it.
All the money.
Chat you later.